Utility of the Year competitors are a select group. Only the newest or significantly redesigned models are invited to participate, and they must be on sale by the 1st of January '04. This year, 13 vehicles qualified. Let's meet them now.
One of the things we really enjoy about covering SUV is the diversity of the vehicles that are in it. They're the vehicles that really are trying to look more like premium sports sedans or sport coupes, and then the other vehicles that are sort of tough, soft rotors. They've got more of a blocky, square look to them. And then we have the sport utility vehicles. Those are two-box designs with a great big box with a small box attached to the front of them where the engine compartment is. So they basically break themselves down into those three categories.
For 2004, 2 significantly updated and 11 all-new sport utilities represent these different approaches. 9 would be considered unibody crossover SUVs, while 4 of them have traditional truck-based platforms. Nissan brings us the Pathfinder Armada, their first full-size pickup-based SUV, while Buick's Rainier replaces the soon-to-be-retired Oldsmobile Bravada. GMC's Envoy XUV features a retractable roof for tall cargo. And Nissan's second entry is the futuristically styled 245-horse Murano. The Dodge Durango shares its powertrains and towing ability with the Dodge Ram, and the Endeavor is Mitsubishi's well-finished and capable off-roader. Porsche's Cayenne is a four-wheel drive go-anywhere sports car, and Chrysler offers up a mix of minivan, SUV, and wagon in the all-new Pacifica. The Touareg is Volkswagen's stylishly capable and first-ever SUV, while the Lexus RX330 is a smart and focused upgrade of the RX300. Cadillac's SRX is based on their rear-wheel drive CTS sedan, and Infiniti's FX35 and 45 deliver high performance with an on-road bias. Finally, BMW gives us the X3, smaller than the X5 and loosely based on the 3 Series sedan.
We take a slightly different and expanded view of what a sport utility vehicle is than perhaps what might be considered the traditional definition. To us, it's not only a vehicle that carries a lot of stuff and may be able to drive off-road, but it's a general notion of expanded use. More cargo capacity than a car, configurable storage areas and seating, and perhaps the ability to handle all types of road and weather surfaces, not just rock climbing as in the old traditional sense.
While each entry approaches this definition in its own way, our competition recognizes excellence in 3 broad categories: significance, superiority, and value.
Sport Utility of the Year looks to recognize the most significant, the most noteworthy of the vehicles that are newly introduced for that year. By significance, we mean, does a vehicle somehow raise the bar or put a new mark in the sand? Is it a significant development? Secondly, superiority refers to how a vehicle stacks up against other vehicles of its type, vehicles in its category. Finally, value. What does a vehicle deliver in terms of content, features, performance, expected resale value, in return for what it costs?
In order to fairly evaluate and compare the entries, each vehicle is thoroughly tested and scrutinized back to back, inside and out. And so the editors of MotorTrend hit the road, and the sand, and the rocks to decide which one should be named Sport Utility of the Year. That's coming up next on MotorTrend.
MotorTrend Television.
Welcome back to MotorTrend. We ask a lot of questions on our way to picking a Sport Utility of the Year winner. How important is cargo room? A third-row seat? Off-road ability? Well, specifications and prices are a start, but we learn the most from driving them, down the road, on the trail, and at the track.
Once we have gathered our field of contenders, the evaluation process really starts with track testing, where we take the cars out and run them through our normal road test regimen to get baseline performance figures for acceleration, cornering, braking, and all the usual things we measure.
This year we had a lot of sport in a couple vehicles. The Porsche Cayenne S and the Cayenne Turbo are absolutely unbelievable. BMW has stepped up to the plate with this X3. Infiniti's FX35 and 45, they infuse a lot of suspension and good wheel and tire combinations with a great engine combination. It's really surprising how sporty these SUVs are these days.
A lot of the vehicles that were on this program, they were awesome on road. Lots of grip, very agile handling, good steering precision. What's going on out there now is refinement.
During the competition, MotorTrend's editors also used these SUVs for everyday trips and jobs, living with them largely as owners ultimately will.
And that whole process culminates with a very intense 2 or 3 day period on the road where we really scrutinize the cars, drive them all very carefully back to back, looking at features, details, aesthetics, performance, feel, how they work in normal use.
Standouts and personal favorites began to emerge.
Cadillac's new SRX was really fantastic. It really surprised a lot of people. It combines traditional SUV with a good, healthy dose of sport.
These car-based crossovers could also be called soft-roaders, all-wheel drive sport utilities not intended for severe off-road use. Nevertheless, some held their own surprisingly well off the pavement.
One example of a capable, well-done soft roader would be Lexus's RX330. Even though this vehicle does not have a low range and isn't really designed for heavy-duty off-roading, it's more capable than some people might expect.
The Mitsubishi Endeavor, I think it was one of the surprises of the test of how good it was off-road for a car-based chassis.
Throughout the field, we found innovative features and useful options. The XUV's retractable roof, the FX45's reversing camera, the Armada and Durango's adult-friendly third-row seats, and the BMW's 6-speed manual.
I think we had a tremendous field this year. We took them everywhere and they matched what we gave them. None of the field was anything that you wouldn't recommend to one of your friends to buy. They're all truly tremendous vehicles.
The final phase really is the deliberations. We really talk through the strengths and weaknesses of the various vehicles, and the culmination of that process is a staff consensus that ultimately names one vehicle Sport Utility of the Year.
MotorTrend's Sport Utility of the Year winner is coming up. Sport Utility of the Year contenders had features and capabilities that would make them a good choice for a variety of buyers. But one of them demonstrated the highest achievements in significance, superiority, and value.
The Volkswagen Touareg made it to the top of the heap, I think, for one simple reason. That is, the vehicle has the smoothness, the refinement, the driving pleasure, and the comfort of a car-based sport utility, but it also combines some key features and characteristics that used to only be available on the truck-based SUVs, and that combination of characteristics was just too good to deny.
Despite being one of the last brands to enter this segment, Volkswagen has delivered a winner. It's a masterful blend of luxurious on-road drivability with state-of-the-art off-road capability.
There are several systems that the Touareg has that allows it to be a very effective off-roader. One is its height-adjustable suspension, so it rides low and comfortable on the freeway or around town, yet raises up when you need it. Second is a real low range that you can set to allow the engine to provide maximum power at a very low speed. And the third is an adjustable shock absorber system that allows you to configure the ride quality of the Touareg for either on-road performance or off-road compliance.
Engineered in conjunction with Porsche, the Touareg is based on the same all-new unit body platform as the Cayenne. The two share basic body structures, drivetrain components, and suspension designs, but have separate and distinct exterior styling.
In terms of styling and design, I think most of us agree that the Touareg is a clean, handsome, unfussy execution. They're very nicely integrated, very serious, a great overall style.
The Touareg has the muscle to back up its strong, refined looks. Both the V6 and V8 models are equipped with VW's 4X Motion four-wheel drive. The system automatically divides drive torque between the front and rear wheels based on available traction. A locking center differential is standard, and a locking rear is optional.
The locking differentials allow you to just lock up the differentials between the axles as well as in the rear axle to really just deliver torque to all of the wheels.
Standard power for the Touareg is a 220 horse V6, but with a curb weight over 5,000 pounds, 0 to 60 takes over 10 seconds.
With a standard 3.2-liter V6 engine, we do find the Touareg only offering barely acceptable performance, but the optional V8 engine really makes a huge difference and would obviously be the configuration we'd recommend.
The 310 horsepower 4.2-liter V8 is borrowed from Audi's A6 and A8. It improves the Touareg's 0 to 60 sprint by nearly 3 seconds. Its 6-speed Tiptronic automatic almost feels like a manual, holding gears when necessary and downshifting for engine braking on deceleration. The capable transmission and solid body structure mean all models can tow nearly 7,800 pounds, substantially more than many direct competitors. An all-independent suspension plus optional air suspension allowed our test model to zigzag through the slalom at over 59 miles per hour. The Touareg is packed with standard active safety systems for confident performance both on and off-road. Dual front, side, and head curtain airbags for both rows are also standard.
It's very high quality execution, great use of leather and wood and metal and chrome and plastic in very harmonious ways, and everything just kind of snaps and clicks and is crisply done. You just get a feel of quality throughout the whole vehicle.
At a price on the order of $40,000 to almost $50,000 for the V8 version, the Touareg certainly isn't cheap by any means, but we think it represents pretty solid value just because the particular characteristics and features it offers really aren't available many other places at any price. And we think that translates to a pretty high